Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Jedi Myself Movie News Show or YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jedi Mike 7, with my co-host Jay King. Jay King, how you doing?
Doing good. You can hear me, right? No
Yeah,
problems
we
here.
can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, good, good. Feeling furious.
Yeah, speaking of Furious, yes, we're going to be talking about the new film directed by George Miller and the next installment or addition to the Mad Max saga, Furiosa. Furiosa is a prequel to a 2000, I believe, 15 film of Mad Max Fury Road, which was a big hit in terms of critically acclaim and everything, almost winning six Oscars, I believe. Yeah, this
Hmm.
is a prequel with the main character from the previous film played by Charlize Theron and also starring Tom Hardy. This is also a prequel. Um, this is also a prequel to that film and focusing on the character of Furiosa, which is played by Anya Taylor-Joy. And also we have some newcomers in here who play a villain called Dementus, played by Chris Hemsworth. But Jay King, do we get into it? What was just your reaction to the film before we get into detail?
I have to say, this is very much a George Miller film. Like, if you loved his style of directing that he and his wife put into Fury Road, then you're 100% going to like what they do when it comes to the fighting, the camera work, the techniques, the practical effects, and everything within Furiosa. I have to say, when it comes to the story of just seeing, because again, this is basically us just seeing how Furiosa became the character she was in Fury Road, going from this small little child who, you know, was living in basically paradise in a sense, to the hardened road warrior that we saw her in that 2015 film. Again, I have to say, like, there's a lot going on in this film, but it's not that difficult to understand. And again, like, I've only seen Fury Road like twice in my life. I rewatched it before I saw this film, but I have to say, like, I had a joy. I had a joy seeing practically everything that was done with this film that George Miller and this team brought, especially when it came to the characters, which we'll talk about. But yeah, just a lot of positives when it comes to this film. I enjoyed a lot of it.
Yeah, I actually had privilege going to the press screening for this and stuff. And then like you, I only saw the first film like twice. And in well almost 7 years from its original release or so.
Hmm.
But yeah, I and not saying that these are no that it's bad, it's these are bad films or anything. I'm just not real into the Mad Max Fury Road lore as everybody else. But I do appreciate them for being, films and masterpieces, that they are, especially with Fury Road. Definitely from them back in 2015, they were just sweeping Oscars, right? But I was looking forward to
Hmm.
this. I am fans, on Taylor Joy and Chris Hemsworth. But yeah, as you mentioned, like yeah, there were this film I really did enjoy. I think it is a well made film. I did like the performances in there, especially from Taylor Joy and capturing the inception of her character Furiosa, which later you'll see will be coming of Charlize Theron, but still, it wasn't like she was playing a carbon copy of Charlize Theron. But you can see how this version evolves to that version of her character, which we see back in an original film. But with Chris Hemsworth, I'm not gonna lie, I was very apprehensive with his character. At least when I was heard that he was announced to play the villain of the film. But I will say I was pleasantly surprised. And actually one like the best part of the film, in my opinion. I have to
Hmm.
commend him because of seeing his range as an actor from not me looking at him and I'm automatically seeing Chris Hemsworth. And that's one of my biggest struggles with him. A few actors have that issue though. But I do believe that with his performance and what he was able to do uh, throughout this film, I have to commend him to it because he definitely is involved in terms of the origin of Furiosa. And as you see, this film definitely takes place over a period of years and stuff like that, from when she's a child to when then she becomes a teenager, adult, and separated from Dementus, and ultimately seeking revenge for what he's done. But I did enjoy that. I got also commend in terms of the action scenes in this. in this film. Definitely, I would say this had probably one of the longest car chases if I can remember I've seen recently. But I don't know. What was your thoughts on that?
Oh, I mean, sheesh, man. In terms of car chases, I don't know. It's hard to like because I'd have to really like look back and just see how long the car chases were in Fury Road. But yeah, I definitely say it's either there or it's elevated just a bit. And that's hard because Fury Road had some crazy road like action sequences within this film. But I also do have to agree when it came to the performances of the characters, especially Chris Hemsworth. He was the highlight for me because again, as you said, it could be easy just to be like, oh, that's just Chris Hemsworth. But it's like, no, he like fell into that role of Dementus that sometimes I was just like, oh, right, that is Chris Hemsworth. And it's not just because of the makeup slightly tweaking his face, but also just the way he's playing Dementus is almost kind of Heath Ledger Joker in a sense, but his own kind of take on it, just an unhinged, crazy mess of a character that is so enjoyable to watch, even though he is doing some messed up stuff to, everyone around him. Again, he fell into the role, and I have to really commend him. This is, again, as someone who's known for playing a lot of hero roles, he definitely killed it as the villain. And with Anya Taylor-Joy playing Furiosa, as you said, you saw it gradually. Like, again, the character at the beginning probably wouldn't see that as Furiosa, but by the end, you're like, oh, yeah, this is the exact same battle-hardened road warrior that we saw in the 2015 film portrayed by Charlize Theron then. And it's like, yeah, like, it was just great. It's just really great on both of their accounts and all of the actors too.
Yeah, and we do see, in terms of there are definitely some Easter eggs. If you've watched the original film of seeds that they set up, and not to give anything away, non-spoiler on that. But you do see some references of certain characters and everything, and scenes and stuff like that. But in terms of with George Miller, this is definitely a George Miller film in terms of the way he does action scenes, his camera shots in this. Definitely what he does with just terms of scenery, on this film and everything like that. You do get the terms of scope, even how magnitude that some of the action pieces be. They still go back to the root of the characters and everything. But yeah, I gotta say he was to stand out again. Even like shots like this and stuff like that, I really like. And we get more in terms of expansion of the Wasteland and what the Wasteland is and stuff, because I think that was like the biggest thing that questions for someone that's not familiar with Mad Max and stuff, like what the Wasteland was gonna be like in terms of more like what of stuff of the unknown that we have not seen and everything. And I know there was potential speculations on whether he might do the next film, Mad Max Wasteland, but the only time will tell whether he will proceed with that and everything. But yeah, I just want to say, what's your overall score you give this film?
Overall, I'd have to give it like either a seven. It's either a 7.5 or it's an 8 out of 10. Like that's for me. It's like it's right there. It's not the greatest film I've seen, but it is still one of the best films that I've seen. It's not the greatest, but it is a very enjoyable film. It is a very enjoyable whether you have seen. I feel like whether you've seen Fury Road or not, I think there's a lot of enjoyment that you can get with this film for its characters, for its camera work, for its settings, and everything in between. So yeah, like 8 out of 10 for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say 8 out of 10. I think you kind of took the number right in my head because I will say with this film, they definitely get into the more of the then again the nature of origin story or revenge story, but they do some things that kind of twist it, into a point where it's not like cookie cutter and kind of predictable in terms of a revenge story and everything. But I did really enjoy what they did with Anya Taylor-Joy, and again, she's been in 2 blockbuster films this year, both in the desert, both masterpieces and everything. Listen, if it's the desert and got Anya Taylor-Joy, you are in for something great. I'll just say that. Yeah, blockbusters in the desert for 2024, So but yeah, I'll give this 8 out of 10 though, for this film. But the question is, what do you guys think? You guys have seen this film, let us know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure you subscribe to Jedi Mike 7 Movie News show and a YouTube channel. And make sure you hit notification bell, upcoming uploads and everything that we got coming your way. We got a lot coming. We got interviews and stuff that's dropping very, very soon. Please stay tuned on that. But also you see all of our links and affiliate links and everything down in the description box below. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.